The hour is 6. We're going to call this meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, please read the check the roll, see if we've got enough here for the gosh, I can't even talk. Quorum tonight. Thank you. Wow.
Birchfield. Here. Burkholder. Here. Carver. Here. Farmer. Here. French. Here. Gamble. Here. Helton.
He's in the doorway. Just say here, Scott. Here, Scott. Here.
Kirby. Here. Lambert. Lael.
Here.
You have 8 present and 2 absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you. We have a quorum. First thing we shall do here is read the emergency evacuation procedures.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Probably after the minutes.
Okay. Don't we set the agenda before the minutes?
We can if you want to.
Okay. Okay, the chair will stand for a motion to set the agenda for this meeting. Mr. Kirby with the motion and Mr. Gamble with the second. All those in favor? Those opposed? Hearing no opposition, we shall move ahead. Next item of business will be the minutes of the last meeting. Would like to ask for a motion for approval of those minutes. Mr. Burkholder and Mr. Kirby seconds. Birchfield. You did. Okay, those in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing no opposition, we shall call it done and move ahead. Any public input on items on the agenda? Seeing and hearing none, we're moving ahead. We have 2 items to take up on new business tonight. We have applications for off-premises for the Krishna Retail Corporation for Countryside Market, which is at 5205 U.S. Highway 411 South, Maryville. What is the pleasure of this board about setting or moving ahead for a public hearing on this item? Any questions, first of all, about this item?
No, this is first reading.
Yeah. First of all, we need a motion to get it on the floor. Okay. Mr. Kirby on the motion, Mr. French on the second. Any discussion concerning this item? Okay.
How does the nearest code play into this?
That's a long way over there.
Yeah.
Well, that's close to school.
They, exactly. They always look at the nearest school regardless, Mr. Kirby. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none? Okay, well, I figured after we did both, we would set the date. Okay. All right, the motion on the floor is to move this ahead for a public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, we will set a public hearing after we consider the next item. And we have another item of business, an application Yes, we can, as a personal favor, Mr. Burkhalter.
This business says it's 475 feet from a church.
Yes, sir. There is a grandfather,
It's a pre-existing cell.
pre-existing, yes, sir. The business has been there prior to the church's formation there. Right, right. So that is not an issue that we know of at this point. Okay, we have another, do you have a copy of that, Mr. Clerk? I can't find my copy of the second one to be considered.
Oh, no, that's for next week.
Oh, it's for next week? Okay. Okay, we have an application for next week. Okay, since we have completed those applications that are before us by moving them ahead, I would stand for a motion to set the public hearing for this. We can have the meeting prior to the next full commission meeting, which would be the 17th. So if you would like to have the public hearing at that point for the Countryside Market application.
If we don't have it that day, we're gonna have to have a special call meeting, right?
Exactly. Mr. French move. Ms. Birchfield seconded. Okay. Those in favor of setting the public hearing for next week, the 17th, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
What time?
That meeting will be at our usual appointed time. Maker of the motion, 6:30. Okay.
You mean the public hearing?
Public hearing.
It's a zoning public hearing, I think, isn't it, Rhonda? Isn't there? Okay, so 6 o'clock. We can set the beer board at 6 if you'd like.
And the zoning public hearing is what time?
That's in August, almost around.
Okay. So 6 o'clock, does that?
Can we not make it 6:30, considering the meeting starts at 7?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, there's.
Yeah, that's fine.
How much discussion are we gonna have about the proposed rule changes?
Well, that will be up to you. That's kind of an unknown question at this point.
I recommend 6 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, do I hear a motion to that effect? Is that a motion, Mr. Burkhalter?
Yes.
Do I hear a second, Mr. French? Those in favor of 6 o'clock for the beer board meeting, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing no opposed, we will have the public hearing set at 6 o'clock the 17th, and with the idea that there may be some additional business to be conducted. Okay, at this point in time, we're down to announcements and statements. You will find in your packet. Yes, sir.
So the public hearing at 6 with the beer board immediately to follow? Yeah. Okay.
The public hearing is a public hearing on a beer application.
Okay, that's on the application. Any other business we'll have to decide from this point on, because okay. All right, announcements and statements we have in your packet, and there is additional information online concerning Mr. Garrett's recommendations on some changes in our local beer regulations. There is quite a bit of information that's in there. He did a synopsis for each of us. I think it's in the packet. Again, there is additional information online should you require it. Would ask that each of you take this next week at your pleasure and time and review those items so that next week during the called session we can have a discussion and possible action concerning these items. Are there any questions about that possibility? Again, this is something we assigned Mr. Garrett quite a bit a couple of months ago, we assigned him this task of researching those existing regulations and how they may or may not need to be changed to fit the current state regulations and bring them up to speed within what the state is doing at this point. There's been no revision, as I understand it, Mr. Clerk, for at least 25 years in Blount County. So it's time to look at these and possibly make recommendations to the full board after we look at those. Any discussion or any questions? Is there any information or any input on items not on the agenda at this point? Mr. Scott?
Mister? Oh, wow. Yeah, I was just wondering, it's taking you 10 minutes. Is there any way you can speed up the meeting?
Actually, Mr. Scott, this is actually the longest meeting we've had this, you came to the long one, sir. But I think our record is 4.5 minutes, but in this case, we had to go a little longer because I stuttered. Hearing no other information from the audience or from this board, would stand for a motion to adjourn before we exceed 12 minutes. All right, we got it. We stand adjourned.